Welcome back to Backspace Academy. In this lecture, we'll have a look at the different management services on AWS. We'll then finish up with a hands-on lab where we'll use the CloudWatch service to implement a billing alert on our account. CloudFormation allows you to use a text file to define your infrastructure and to use this text file to deploy resources on the AWS cloud. This allows for the defining of your infrastructure as code, and you can manage your infrastructure with the same version control tools that you use to manage your code. The AWS Service Catalog allows enterprises to catalog resources that can be deployed on the AWS cloud. This allows an enterprise to achieve common governance and compliance for its IT resources by clearly defining what is allowed to be deployed on the AWS cloud. AWS CloudWatch is a monitoring service for AWS cloud resources and applications that are deployed on the AWS cloud. It can be used for triggering scaling operations, or it can also be used for providing insight into your deployed resources. AWS Systems Manager provides a unified user interface that allows you to view operational data from multiple AWS services and to automate tasks across your AWS resources. That helps to shorten the time to detect and resolve operational problems. AWS CloudTrail monitors and logs AWS account activity, including actions taken through the AWS Management Console, the AWS Software Development Kits, the command line tools, and other AWS services. So this greatly simplifies security analysis of the activity of users of your account. AWS Config enables you to assess, audit, and evaluate the configurations of your AWS resources. This simplifies compliance auditing, security analysis, change management and control, and also operational troubleshooting. AWS OpsWorks provides managed instances of Chef and Puppet. Chef and Puppet can be used to configure and automate the deployment of AWS resources. AWS Trusted Advisor is an online expert system that can analyze your AWS account and the resources inside it, and then advise you on how to achieve high security and best performance from those resources. Okay, let's have a go at using one of these management services. We're going to use the Billing and Cost Management Console and the CloudWatch service to create a billing alert, and that will notify us when our account has exceeded a budgeted amount. And it will do that using the simple notification service, and we'll learn more about the SNS in the next lecture. Okay, so starting off in the AWS Management Console, the first thing that we need to do is that we need to enable billing alerts on our account. So we go to our account up here and we select My Billing Dashboard. So from our Billing and Cost Management Dashboard, we'll scroll down and we'll go to Billing Preferences. And just make sure that you've got here that you're going to receive your invoices by email. And you'll also see a checkbox here, which is already checked for me because I've already enabled this, but for you, it won't be. So you need to click on this checkbox. It will then set up a process for you to authorize billing alerts to be received on your email address. So then you just simply save preferences. Once we've enabled our billing alerts on our account, then we can go into the CloudWatch service. So go to Services and then CloudWatch. And what we can do is we can set up an alarm that is going to be triggered whenever our account exceeds a certain level in dollars. So we just go to Alarms and we create an alarm here. We need to select a metric. And we have a number of metrics to select from. The ones that we want are billing. Now, if you find that your screen doesn't look like this, It is not that the video is wrong. It is not that the lab notes are wrong. It is that you are not in the US East North Virginia region. That is the only region that you can be in to set up billing alerts on your account. So we click on billing, and the one we want to look for is total estimated charge. So we'll click on that. We'll select US dollars and we'll select that metric. Now what we need to do is we need to specify the conditions around how this alarm is going to be triggered and what's going to happen when that alarm is triggered. So we specify the metric and conditions. So we'll just scroll down. So it's going to be a static one. So it's going to be triggered whenever the value exceeds a certain limit. So it's going to be whenever it is greater than, and we'll just put in there 10 US dollars. Because pretty well everything that we're doing so far will be on the free tier. So if we get anything going above $10, that should alert us to being a problem. And we'll click on next. So now we're going to come to where we need to configure the actions for this alarm. So what is going to happen when this alarm is triggered? What's going to happen when our account exceeds $10? So what we need to select is that in alarm. So whenever it exceeds this level, it's going to go into an alarm. So what happens when it goes into an alarm state? We're going to create a new SNS topic, or simple notification service topic. And what that will do is it will allow us to receive emails whenever this billing alert occurs. So we're just going to create a new topic. We'll give it a name there. That will do. And we're just going to put in our email address there. And we create that topic. So what is going to happen now is that you will receive an email from AWS to authenticate or validate that that email is actually yours. So if you go to your email account, and there we can see that we've got an email that's come from Amazon, and we just need to confirm that subscription. So if we click on that, and that will confirm that subscription. So AWS need to make sure that the email that is on there is actually an email that you are responsible for or that you own. So we'll just close out of that. So we'll just scroll down. We don't need to do anything else here. We just need to click on next. We'll just give our alarm a name and a description. We don't actually need to give it a description. I'll just leave that empty. It's pretty self-explanatory what this is. And we'll click on next. So that will detail now a preview of what's going to happen and the conditions around how it is going to be triggered. And that we're going to give it a name there, P-Cody Billing Alert. Of course, yours will be different to that. So let's create that alarm. Okay, so that alarm has been created. When this is first created, you will get insufficient data because it takes time for CloudWatch to actually receive information. So it's going to monitor this, and then within 6 hours, it's going to make an assessment as to whether that billing alert should be triggered. And from there, if it is triggered, if it goes over that level that you've defined there of $10, then you will receive an email that will come from the simple notification service. Okay, so after a little bit of time, so in this situation, my account is already well and truly over that $10 limit. And so it's gone into an in-alarm state. And at the same time, I have received an email from AWS telling me that there is a problem with my account. It has exceeded that $10 billing alert limit. So that's how easy it is to actually set up a billing alert on your account. And it is something that you should always do because you don't want any nasty surprises. Like I said, everything that we're doing so far will be on the free tier, and we'll learn more about that free tier, what is on the free tier and what is not. So if something is not on the free tier, you need to make sure that you clean it up afterwards so that you don't get a bill at the end of the month. But if you forget, billing alerts are a great way to basically stop you from getting a big bill at the end of the month. So that brings us to an end, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.